Hi, everyone. I'm curator Lisa D'Amico, and I have the wonderful pleasure of speaking with Lakshmi Deepika about her wonderful piece in the Shine the Light virtual art exhibit. Welcome. It's so lovely to meet you.
Thank you, Lisa. It's so lovely to meet you too.
So
And thank you for such a nice opportunity.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I have to tell you, I am really looking forward to hearing more about your piece because as a curator, when I saw it, what struck me right away was your technique, your beautiful use of line that almost has a poetry about it. And then I saw the title of your piece and I started reading about it, about your what I consider like a historical palace. Is that correct?
Yes, true.
Great. So if you would talk about your inspiration and about your technique first, that would be wonderful.
Sure, I will definitely do that. I am actually doing my final year of Bachelor's in Finance. I'm from India. And this work, I have visited Jaipur some time back, maybe 2 years ago. And that is when I have been to this place called the Hawa Mahal. That is a historical place where all the queens would stay inside the palace and they could see the whole city through those windows. So yeah, and because of the direction of the wind as well, it has some technique. The way it is constructed, it has directions of wind in every possible manner into the palace. Hawa in Hindi means wind. Mahal is a palace. So that is what inspired me to do such a work sometime in my life. And the technique I personally love to use these days is pointillism. It's full of dots. If you observe my work, it is full of dots. So that gives a nice perspective view to my style of works. And I like the perspective as well. You know, in any of my works, I need different levels of perspective to be seen. So I emphasize more on perspective using pointillism technique, and I describe a historic place from India.
Hearing more about your piece actually makes me fall in love with it even more.
Thank you.
Yes. So pointillism is a very time-consuming technique.
True.
And it can be very intense. Have you been doing pointillism for a long time? How did it come around to being one of the methods that you use for your artwork?
Pointillism, that's actually, it was not a hit when it was introduced, in the previous years, in fact. But what I really liked is, I wanted to draw the kind of rough stone effect. I like to draw that. I have visited a lot of historic places in India. And when I've seen some sculptures, made of different stones, I would realize that I wanted that black and white kind of texture in a drawing. So I had done some research on that, and I realized for me to get a sculpture kind of a look to my art, I realized I can use dots.
Oh, wow.
So that is how I started pointillism.
I love it.
So I read more and more about it, and I realized it has been done by many artists, many European artists as well. So that's how I've been inspired by a lot of people, to be frank. I keep reading a lot of art history books. So that's how I got into pointillism. And this view of mine to show the light and darks, in a same tone. I want the work to look flat. I don't want it to be highlighted very much. It should be subtle. At the same time, you should see the detailing in it. It should be observed that it takes a lot of time. Once the viewer sees the work, he will realize that this is not just normal drawing. It did take me a lot of time. Yes.
Hearing you say this, that's exactly what I was thinking. Even when I first saw it, and I zoomed in and I could see all the texture that you created with the pointillism. There is a very, you're right, there's a flatness to it, which almost is reminiscent to me as a viewer of like tile. And
yes.
it's stunning, and it's simple in its method, but it is powerful in its continuity and composition.
It represents India.
It's beautiful. I know I keep using that word, but it truly is. So
Thank
tell
you.
me a little bit about yourself as an artist. Have you been drawn to the arts since childhood, or did this come later?
But yes, I've been introduced into art right from my childhood days, but I didn't perceive it per se. As usual, I got into a software job, and then now I'm a mother of two kids, two wonderful kids, and with them I realized the sweetness of exploring things in every possible manner. So they gave me the confidence that I can do whatever I want to do personally. So that is when I realized, okay, why not this? And that's how, eventually I correlate with my thoughts, and I just read some books of based on art historians and all that. And then I discuss the same thing with my professors as well. And that is how I got into this technique. Lockdown actually helped me a lot in that. I was able to work and explore more during the lockdown.
A lot of artists have said that having the
Oh,
lockdown gave
good to know that.
them really the time to focus
True.
on some of their work. And it's nice that you found a positive during such a difficult time.
True.
That's
Because
wonderful.
art is something which gives you peace. And during such a pandemic time, what do you look for? You want peace all around you and around your house, and you want safety, you want to feel secure. So art is the only solution to me.
Well, you're inspiring me just hearing you talk. And I
Thank
hope that
you.
everyone listening to this interview will please visit insidesmall.com and enjoy this incredible piece. And also, I will post the information about you and your work so they can go to the exhibit, but they can also follow you and go on this creative path that you're on and enjoy it as much or probably even more than I do. So I cannot thank you enough for this wonderful interview, and it's just so lovely
Oh,
to
you're
meet
so
you.
welcome. Thank you so much, Lisa. I love the opportunity. I am really thankful to Inside Small. I am glad to be a part of the whole show. Though it was virtual, still I'm really happy to know you, to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.